Good evening and welcome to, once again, it's Friday night and we're up in the building. Daddy Ernie and now
Ernie.
Robbo, I was half tempted. I couldn't find it, but I was half tempted to get the last post for you. I was half tempted to get the last post.
Oh man, listen, come on.
How are you, Robbo?
I'm fine, my brother, but you got to wait until the season's over before you do all of that nonsense. That stuff starts in May.
No.
You should know better.
No. The last post, as far as you're concerned, and as far as I'm concerned, you will not be defending your Premiership. That's good enough for me. The last post can sound at any time, as far as your lot is concerned.
Well, listen, we have a lot. We've got a lot to talk about, and of course, you can save that last post song for one of your raves that you're playing in, like your birthday bash or something. We don't need that right now. We need to crack on today and talk about the week's fixtures, and of course, our super chat. We normally have like super fans in the house, like they're super plus fans. Like last week, we had our friend from the Chase. This week we're going to super fans because we like to keep it grassroots, and two of our super fans are grassroots, ingrained in youth game, the youth side of it. Mike Anthony had a brilliant say in it with Football from America. So we have two people in the show. As always, shouts to Lewis Mastermind first on the show. As always, we're asking you, drop your comments into the show via Facebook if you're watching on Facebook, or if you're watching on YouTube, drop your comments into the show. We want your comments nice and early. We want to get people more involved in the show. I'm tired of hearing this biased bullshit from Daddy Ernie. So drop your comments, even though he's the co-host.
Robbo, the man them said you are the most biased.
Ooh, me?
Pundit. I'll tell you what, I'll have the list next week, bro. They're saying that, Robbo, they never knew that you were so biased. It's like...
The most they can say, Ernie, the most they can say is Robbo has predicted a whole heap of games wrong. Shouts to everybody on Instagram or over YouTube. Yeah, they say a whole heap of predictions wrong. Yeah, I might get them wrong, but most of my conversation that I give you about the greatest British football club in the history of football is always right.
You're clutching at straws now, Robbo. You're clutching
It's unbiased. Talk about how many trophies. I don't even want to talk about how many trophies because you know we lead you in that.
No, listen, we have more than one Premiership. You're with Blackburn and Leicester, right? One Premiership, right? Don't get it twisted. So we'll just leave that one then.
Anyway, I'm gonna go easy on you tonight because this,
and this is the team.
This is Malbec. This is Argentinian.
Well, this is Merlot.
Hang on. It was 2020. It was a good year. And it could be an even better year if we find out what's happening with the football. Take it away, Daddy Ernie.
Well, I mean, this weekend, of course, the big game is Chelsea against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge.
Didn't that used to be a big game?
It's always... There's certain games that are always big games, and that is just one of them. Chelsea, Manchester United. You know, for those of you who are old enough to remember, you know, Chopper Harris, Bobby Tamblyn, Charlie Cook, Peter Osgood, Bobby Charlton, George Best, Dennis Law,
Ronaldo,
Collins. No. Before I said old enough to remember that. Instant them man, there's some new man. So it's a tradition that has been set from the 60s, come right through. So no matter where they are in the league, Chelsea and Manchester United is a big game. And this weekend is a big game. United is second and Chelsea is fifth. Or they fourth.
Tables are lying anyway right now. The tables are lying.
They ain't lying as far as you lot are concerned, bro.
Big up Jaffa Boogie. Shouts get out to Ronnie. Ronnie, you got to tone down today, son. You got to tone down. The authorities are watching, and you know your papers ain't straight, son. You have to tone down a bit, Ronnie. Tone down. Tone down. You don't be on that back on that plane to Grenada, son.
Right.
So yeah, I mean,
Ronald. What's his name?
Don't wind him up. Shouts going out to Aaron White. He was talking about my predictions. I'm the first to say it. My predictions have been whatless, just like my defense. So my predictions are as bad as our defense. Yeah. So for now, I can say, yeah, I concede my predictions are awful. Shouts to everybody right now. Tuchel unbeaten.
Unbeaten, yeah, all right. Obviously, Richard Smith Senior. Obviously, he's just started watching Chelsea, isn't he?
No, actually, no, because Richard is the only. Remember, Richard is the only Leeds United fan around town. I don't know any other Leeds United fan.
Leeds, you know Conda. You know Conda, General Conda. His brother's Leeds.
Yeah, I know Conda.
Yeah, his brother's Leeds. And my mate, I've got another one as well. My mate Mark, he's a Newcastle fan.
No such thing, mate.
He's a Newcastle fan.
So you lot can't say my name correctly. Big ups to Aaron White.
Aaron White.
Aaron White.
What's Aaron? I know him. He's Robert White's son. Aaron. Yeah. Or is it Aaron? No doubt you can correct me when I see him. Liverpool's are the Prem beating stick right now. Jeez!
Shout out to Trevor Walsh. Good evening, Trevor.
He's a West Ham.
Hey, listen, guys, while you're online, try to get some more of your people online onto the show because, as I said, we've started this. How many weeks? Only about 5-6 weeks.
5, yeah.
5, 6. Beer full comments, beer full predictions. I actually really want football people, not like Ronald Gay, like just people just out here goading us. I mean, talking about real football predictions. So get online and spread the word. It is your football talk. Talked about it by like guys from the community and people that have obviously love music. So no doubt, Ernie, we know we have to blend in some music into the show sometime.
At some stage, yeah, I reckon we could do that.
What am I doing? Ace!
Can I have some of that?
So, our esteemed colleagues in the house today.
Yeah, Rodney should be here. Eddie, as we know, leaves the Beeb and gets over here ASAP. So, you know what I mean? Okay. It should be very, very, very soon indeed. But not to worry. I mean, I can hold it. Because United got ready. Right now we're running second.
Ronald quoted, see, this is what the stupid text is. Robbo, you can't even play the game. Have you ever seen me play the game? You're making casting these wild aspersions just like Daddy Ernie. I saw Ronald post a clip of him training. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
He posted a clip. Ronald was doing the runs through the cones. And he was also doing the steps through the ladder.
Yeah.
Lord God. He was so out of sync. And then the coach says to him, shoot inside of the foot. Ball's gone way out to the left. Don't do it to yourself, Ronnie. Don't do it to yourself. Leave that for Scully.
So, Lewis, we Chelsea got a 4-game run. Man United, Liverpool, Everton, and then Leeds. That will determine our season. We will beat Man United, draw Liverpool, and beat Everton and Leeds. There you go. Lewis, up until that statement, you was a mate of mine, but you're not beating us on Sunday, bro. You're not beating us on Sunday. I'm telling you that now. The message
from Crucial Robbie. Robbie said, all I do is run up my mouth. Thanks, Robbie. Thanks.
Crucial Robbie.
If I run up my mouth as good as you, I'll be rich.
Who's the head? Robbie, Arsenal or Liverpool?
In the league.
Liverpool, isn't it?
You're rude, Ernie. Arsenal can't be above Liverpool.
You know what I mean? They got away with a lucky break last night. Last night they looked dead and buried and they squeezed a little tree too.
Speaking of Arsenal.
Yeah. Arsenal's got Olympiacos in the next round. Olympiacos has kind of beaten them a couple of times in them kind of football games there. So it's not going to be a dead cert, but I think they're going to get through on that one. But we'll see.
Yeah, it looks good. Some of the games in Europe, some of the European games, you guys looking good. One of the games that was really interesting over the week was the game between Granada and Napoli. Now, Granada's not a team that you would
How the
associate
hell
with
did you watch that?
Champions League. Yo, they lick out Napoli. Napoli ain't no pushover. One of the best teams in Italy. Granada just moved them out, and this Granada team, I suppose you can liken them. You can't really say they were like Monaco when Monaco was in the Champions League, because Monaco has been a big team before in Europe. But Granada in the Champions League, I think it's their first time in the competition, and they're just moving through the competition. I wouldn't want to face them in the Champions League. I don't think that it's a team that you want to run up into.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you see, you don't know about Wednesday and Tuesday night football. You're still doing that EastEnders stuff. That Thursdays.
Bro, you don't worry about that, right? You don't worry about that. We was the first to win that cup, so you don't worry about that, right? You might want it.
I thought it was Celtic.
First British was Celtic. We're the first English.
Well, they're not the first. Let's move on.
We set the standard.
All right, let's move on. Before I go any further, shouts to all the fans of Liverpool, like myself. The sad news of the tragic passing of Alisson Becker's father in Brazil.
He couldn't take it no more. He couldn't take the results anymore.
My God, this man has got no chill. No filter. Listen, it must be one thing, like in this time, not being able to move around and travel and visit your loved ones. But when you know somebody as close as your father passes, and we also talked about this a few weeks ago with Klopp, his mother passing and not being able to go to the funeral, and Klopp in interviews where you hear Klopp talk about his upbringing, he mentions his mum all the time.
All the time.
It was a driving force in his career in football, and I believe so. It was the same with Alisson Becker, but his father passing a boating incident in Brazil, and the brother can't travel, and it's difficult times. So I don't know if this weekend we will see Alisson Becker playing in goal for Liverpool.
The way he's been playing the last couple of weeks, he might as well just call.
Might as well chill. He might as chill. But I mean, you know, condolences going out to him and his family. We'll see. All I would say, the bread belly strong.
Yeah, you know that.
If he does go out and play football this weekend.
Man. Yeah.
I'd rather see Kelleher, our second goalkeeper, in goal, and him just
he's not bad. He's not bad. He's not bad.
Yeah, he's not bad. But yeah, condolences going out to our goalkeeper, Alisson Becker.
So my man says I got a yellow card for that statement that I made.
Ernie, it's because I know you. But you see, you guys who are watching, it's just no filter, Daddy Ernie. This is not your Super Jam norm. This is Ernie on the red. You know what I mean? Yes, we know Henderson is out. Henderson's out. Henderson will be out probably up until March. So we've got no captain. Let me just give you a rundown, Ernie, just to say it soaks in again. So when you start baffling with your scientific nonsense, we've got no Henderson, which is the club captain.
Right.
We probably won't have Alisson Becker. We don't have Virgil van Dijk. We don't have Gomez. We've now lost. We might be getting back. We may be getting back Milner and Fabinho, so that could be good. And Jota may come back, but that's a whole heap of talent right there. That's not going to be playing football for Liverpool. Crazy.
You know, I thought that the game last week between Liverpool and Everton was a little bit timid. I expected some serious fireworks to be going on. You know what I mean? Some revenge business going on. You know? Because after what they done to Van Dijk, I mean, they really set the standard for the rest of the season as far as Liverpool's concerned, because they done him up like a kipper.
Let me talk to my people. Daddy Early talking nonsense. I know you're watching right now on Instagram Live. Go to our YouTube or Facebook. Find us called the Fixture List. Robo Rank, Daddy Ernie, the Fixture List. You'll find us. Anyway, you were saying, what were we saying?
Yeah, I was saying, I thought there would have been some fireworks in that game. You know what I mean? Some revenge, a little revenge.
Some revenge fire. Well, I reckon if VVD was playing, there would definitely been revenge. But was one of those games. As we lost Henderson, that was the end of the momentum for the game. But hey, Liverpool with no Henderson is like a referee changing his shirt color. What a difference it does make. Of course, it makes a difference. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much. So, I believe Rodney is in the house.
Rodney's in the.
If Rodney's rocking, let me see what Rodney's rocking today. Gee,
what's that? Lonsdale.
Lonsdale.
Yo, no. I think I saw Frank Bruno with them on the telly this morning.
I love it.
Rodney, you are a sports journalist, so you're allowed to come in your boxing attire. So Rodney Hines in the house, chief sports writer at The Voice newspaper. Rodney, you must have heard the
all Robbo's internet
the audience with my science on. I was dazzling the.
Sorry, I missed that.
Sorry,
what
I was
did you say?
in the audience with my science about Granada. What a result this weekend in the Champions League. Ernie wouldn't know about that, but Granada versus Napoli. How hard is that?
Rodney never see it.
Rodney, did you see it?
Never saw it.
I told you, Robbo. We have more important, pressing things to do than watching Napoli and Granada. I thought Granada was a TV channel.
That's throwback, like Rodney's shirt. Come on, man. So I don't know what package you're on, what sports package you're on, Rodney. What football did you manage to watch?
I watch most things, I watch most things. I watch Europa.
You didn't watch the Champions League?
I watched Manchester City, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of like inevitable. Champions Manchester. How many games is that? 26 games unbeaten in all competitions, right?
It's just phenomenal what they're doing. Absolutely phenomenal.
Watch how West Ham stuffed them this weekend. You watch.
Well,
why not?
Trevor
They've got to lose.
On that.
They've got to lose at some stage. Yeah, why not tomorrow? West Ham are in form. I think people keep writing them off, but who knows? Who knows? There's talk that Moisey might get manager of the year.
What? I thought he was going to say Moisey was going to get the Man United job. That would be.
No, he's already had that.
He's not returning back there. That was just a catalogue of errors. That one, because Moisey should have actually come when Sir Alex was there and bedded.
How can he come when Sir Alex is there? How can you get how can you get the manager to babysit a manager?
No, he could have come as number 2 and learn the ropes. You know, his mistake was coming in.
Why can't we just say that was just unfortunate circumstances? Don't forget, Sir Alex picked him, didn't he? He picked Moisey for that job.
Yeah, but
he was the chosen. He was the chosen one, wasn't he? But managing Everton and getting them to a certain level, and obviously he did that, and then managing Manchester United, 2 different things altogether.
But don't you think, Rodney? I know I don't want to go back over David Moyes, but don't you think that the crossroad at the point where David Moyes came to Manchester United and the expectation of such a big club that kind of killed him before he even started? Because
absolutely right,
whoever
goes there has that expectancy. But I mean, clearly he did a great job at Everton. But as I said, Everton, literally down the road from Manchester, is 2 different ball games altogether. But I'm pleased that, if you like, he's getting his props now at West Ham, isn't he? They're playing some great football. And hasn't Jesse Lingard just added something special to them?
What is that dance that you're doing, Robbo? Is that a new dancehall dance that he's doing? I don't know that dance. That one where I think it's old. I think he's danced the angel. Hey, look, Moses. And then that dance old like angel. I don't know what dance. No, it's like an Irish jig thing. Like, and I think it is. I'm sure one of our viewers will be able to tell us. But it's anyway. It's a shit dance. So that's why I was asking you. Dance.
Richard Smith said no fans is helping Moyes. I don't know about that. West Ham fans are brutal at the best of times, but the last 6 months they've been kind of a bit more civil. I mean, not last 6 months, the last half of the they've been a bit civil. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case.
It's just a pity that they've waited so long for a team like this playing the way that they do, that they're now not actually in the stadium to enjoy it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I've covered many games at the London Stadium, and when it's going wrong, it's arguably the worst football stadium to be in. To some degree, they end up scrapping with each other. Or I've seen games that after 70 minutes, they've looked like they're going to lose, and then Westfield is full. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
They just leave en masse.
Leave and go shopping.
They just go shopping. But
they're like, let's just go H&M, Star. This is dead. Dead.
So
I think you're going.
I just think that once again, massive test for them tomorrow. West Ham playing an informed City team. One, the City run has to come to an end at some stage, and two, we keep writing West Ham off. I mean, if they go there, I mean, a point will be good for West Ham tomorrow.
Where is it?
At the Etihad.
At the Etihad, yeah. Not that it matters where it is when City play, though, does it really?
No, that's what I'm saying.
You remember, Ernie? City went to the Westfield Stadium, and they didn't win. There was a draw. It was a 1-1 draw. And West Ham West Ham was the first team to stop them in their first run earlier on. That 1-1 is, I think, was October. So it's not like
beyond the realms.
It's not
beyond the realms.
Yeah,
that,
definitely.
That they can't get a result. We've got the great legendary Eddie Nesta. We don't want to keep him. Like last week, he got a bit upset. He said we was keeping him in the back room like it was Kunta.
And he came. Well, you don't look like Kunta.
What's that Pastor Nesta?
No, I literally, please forgive me. I literally just jumped in from work, and I really wanted to come and do a little 20-minute with you, if you don't mind. So, good evening to you, Rodney. Good evening to you, Ernie. Good evening to you, Robert.
Good evening.
I changed.
I'm doing this because I'm doing this because I want my Instagram people to just check if it's shea butter or is he still using Astral in the blue. It's Astral.
You're bumbo. How about that?
It's that.
I'll tell you what. That was the big. That was the big chat from last week. People said, "Who told Eddie that he needs to cream up his?"
Yeah, but he got personal last week. That's when Rodney and we come from Upton House down in Hackney. And we know when our brother start getting personal, that means that we get into him. That's it. So I thought I'd just put the little name in there. He told brothers, do you remember last week how he got vexed with me because I said I don't know that they've won since we've come on? And he started telling me back, we won again. Blah, 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 blah. You didn't win this week, did you?
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. I listen. Win, lose, or draw. You're always gonna get that same love for this, yeah. So how's your week been? How's your week been, Eddie?
It's difficult. It's been a difficult week because did I tell you last week? I know this isn't really the forum for it. The people them sent me the thing for the vaccine. So
actually I saw that. That Eddie posted. Eddie, I couldn't understand what was you actually looking for when you're asking us. I've got
what do we think?
It's like, what do you think? You know what we think.
I do. But as I said, I went to school with Rudders, and the conversation, we must never be frightened of the conversation. And I think sometimes, which is why I always want to have the conversation on here, there are big conversations that are being had and people are frightened to have them. So I'm saying they've offered it to me. And at work, they're cussing me, telling me, well, go and have it. And I'm saying, oh, don't tell me go and have it. You don't look like me. Never have people that look like me been offered anything before people that look like you. And this, I want to know why come you offering it to me. But, so, but I'm scheduled, and I'm the youngest. It's great to be on this because all the places I go, I'm the oldest person. To be on this thing here with you three, it makes me feel young again.
So how you got offered it before us then?
I don't know because I think I'm vulnerable.
We'll have to ask the boss lady. Maybe we get the boss lady on one evening.
Hey, listen, Eddie. Before I don't want to shake you up, but our lovely producer of the show, all saying she actually had the jab this week, and guess what? She's not here. She's not feeling well.
She's not here.
She's not feeling well. So I'm just letting you know. She's brown like you. She probably used Nivea, unlike you, and she's not feeling well.
Yeah, but I've waited because I've had it for a few weeks now. 17 million people, 35% of the adult population have had it. I think if one person is sick amongst 17 million, I take my odds on that.
Okay. Well, it's like the polling station. We ain't gonna ask you which way you're going, but
no, I mean in terms of football though, this week,
it's actually a good place to start.
Well, it's what's going on, and you might find. I think the Czech Republic, Robert Rodney, I worked at, would be the first one to have 90,000 people in. And I must say, I did think of the pod because I thought, I don't know, how are you going to feel about seeing 90,000 people in Wembley? It just feels from where we are at the minute, it feels like, get a little minute. That's a lot of people. If they can have that, they can have Carnival, can't they?
Well, that's a different story altogether, my friend.
Hey, you pushed it, brown man.
They have said what's the one after Carnival?
Reading. They're having Reading. Yeah, they're having the Reading Festival.
Yeah,
no.
But no
mention. Remember, Reading and Leeds it's the same weekend.
It's around about the same weekend.
It's the same weekend, bank holiday weekend. But remember, they obviously it's a fee to get into Reading and Leeds, and you can limit the numbers. The thing with Notting Hill Carnival is that anybody can rock up, millions, gazillions. So there's no door policy at Notting Hill.
But it'd be difficult to say 90,000 people could go to Wembley and however many go to Reading or Leeds, and then say on the basis of payment that we can't have a carnival. It would be difficult to say that. Although I think they will, I think it will be difficult.
Yeah,
because those are 90,000 people that don't know each other, right?
But surely,
100%.
Carnival's being planned as we speak under normal circumstances. They can't wait for that much longer to say yay or nay. So I wouldn't think Carnival's going to happen again this year, personally.
That's it, gay pride.
Oh, don't say that, man. Don't wash your mouth on us, Rodney. We need our Carnival. There'll be a lot. There will be. Listen, there'll be the one thing that you
get COVID from dancing the way you dance at Carnival.
But listen, there'll be one thing for certain. There'll be Eddie, you must understand this. There will be a lot of angry people if you don't have Carnival. I think if you allow Reading and Leeds to happen bank holiday weekend and you turn down Carnival, that's going to upset a lot of people. That much I do know.
I think you're right, but I think that the true, in terms of pertaining it to what we're talking about, I think the true challenge is going to be, and I say it to people, and it's like people want to argue with me, and I say, well, don't argue with me. I'm not saying that I think it's right, but you may well struggle to get into pubs, clubs. You might struggle to get into football stadia unless you can show that you've had the vaccine, because actually, for one person can give it to a lot of different people. So if you can try to make sure that people are safe, so if you throughout the Caribbean, in St. Lucia, they're saying the only people that have ever bought it here are the people from England. And so I think you're going to see that everywhere. I think that at some point, you won't get in the pub, you won't get in the club, certainly if some of the clubs that I've seen you at, Ernie, Royal Lounge, you don't want to be in Royal Lounge with COVID.
No, I want to be in there with Fifth Avenue and them people there and JB crew.
Yeah, you catch something worse off them two.
That new DJ called COVID, I don't know nothing about it. But anyway, listen. Well, in Liverpool supporters are probably happy that they're not in their stadium at the moment, the way they're playing.
Is it signed off now, Rodders? Do we sign off now? Who is it chronologically? Who come behind Man City? Is that? Are we signed off right now?
Yeah, without doubt. Leicester on a little bit of a wobble. Villa without Grealish aren't the same. That's why I say West Ham have been truly consistent Everton, with a couple of games in hand, have to be considered. And of course, you can't ever write Liverpool off. That would be disrespectful. But
no, it won't be disrespectful. I diss them. We'll write them off.
No, you can't write them off because the ability is there. But one big player
is surely Rodder's top 4 is the most they can hope for now. Liverpool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about a title.
Oh,
now.
sorry. Apologies.
I'm just saying that, come on, Henderson injured again out till April, from what I heard today. You can't make it up at the moment. But I did expect a little bit more fire in the belly from Liverpool last week.
I thought there was a bit more urgency in Liverpool's play, but I think the hesitation from Liverpool as a whole team it's just basically it's that whole form that they're going through. But there was more urgency. We saw it, but it backfired. Early goal, and then chasing the game, and then leaving your back line open. That's just classic counter-attack football. But it'll be a different proposition this week. Bottom team in the table. I mean, listen. I'll say this: if Liverpool get beaten on the weekend, I won't be here next week, Friday.
Who are they playing?
Yeah, we want you here. What kind of coward behaviour is that?
Oh, well, wait till Sheffield United.
It's not coward behaviour. I can't take no more.
Of course, it's coward behaviour. Yeah, but the one. More. Can I just tell you the thing about podcast? Years and years ago, I used to do a podcast, right, a football podcast, and the best podcasts are when your team are losing because you have passion, your anger. When if you were winning the league, but like last year, it wouldn't be fun sitting here with you. You just annoy everyone. Now,
Eddie,
nice
my response, your bollocks, your backside. No. Why did we do this? Why weren't we doing this when Manchester United was going through their rut? Shut up. Leave me alone. I ain't coming next week. You and early and you. Leave me alone.
No. Imagine if you were Tottenham, you'd be feeling a lot worse.
I know. But listen, it's nice to have you on board because because I always have to tell you, a couple of friends says apart from the dryness, he actually knows a lot about football. We are talking about Ernie says it's the biggest game of the weekend and start producing these facts and stats of way from 1960, and I just always believe it's red versus blue, so that's why it always turns out to be a nice game. Let's go in nice and early with your thoughts, Eddie, and then we'll take Rodney's thoughts on arguably the biggest game of the weekend. Man United and Chelsea. What a buck-up.
Second against fifth, innit? Or second against fourth? Chelsea fourth? Where's Chelsea? Fourth or fifth?
I think they were higher up. He was boasting about how high up they were, and they've gone down, haven't they? Because Leicester have done a few good jobs. I think we're going to find something out about Chelsea. See, me personally, I've got issues. I've got trust issues. But if you're the person who got substituted for Hudson-Odoi, and then if you are Hudson who gets brought on and then taken off, right? I think there would be something in the dressing room. Now, you could dress it up as, I don't know, staking your claim, marking your territory. But this guy comes with a reputation. I think he knows he's got 18 months, and I don't think he cares. Now, it depends. He, in the week, said Hudson-Odoi had reacted magnificently. But I've got to tell you, if you do that to me, brothers, don't turn your back on me. I might smile with you. I will never like you. I'll never respect you. Because that's a horrible thing to do to somebody. And the thing is, in the dressing room, because the four of us could argue, the four of us could fight. When we come on here, we would have to put on a different face. He went out to the press, to the public, and said, I didn't like his attitude. I didn't like what he was doing. And I was like, Clearly, it was after the game, because in the run-up, you must have thought he had something. He'd played 4 out of 5 games. So, sorry, the reason I'm telling you that story is I think you will find out a lot about that dressing room against Manchester United, because it's very fine percentage points. And I thought he disrespected the guy he took off. I think he disrespected Hudson-Odoi, and we will find out. Senior players will not have liked that. I think we'll nick it.
Rodney?
Well, it's second against fifth. Now, if Chelsea were to win that game, there'd only be 3 points behind Man United. So there is a big game there. in terms of Eddie's point, in terms of Hudson-Odoi, totally agree with you. That is the one changing room that historically you don't mess about with the players. Yeah, because when those players down tools or they're not up for it at Chelsea, you know what normally happens. I think Tuchel might have gone in a little bit too early. If he's trying to make a point to Hudson-Odoi, make that point one, and it's bad enough as it is, taking him off. So you're subbing the sub. But then to come out in the press and say what he said, I don't think that's useful. That's going to be, I think, in the players' mental Rolodex as they move forward. And when things go wrong at Chelsea, the players normally win.
Tuchel the Tinkle. That's what I think we're going to have to start calling him. He's the new Tinkle, man.
I think it's a game that Chelsea, and I don't know how much advantage there is now being home or away because of no fans. It's a game that Chelsea definitely need to win. Because as I said, if they get the 3 points, they're just 3 points off Man United in second place. That's how mad the season's been.
I know you've touched on the dressing room. It's an interesting thing with Chelsea, but it's also something that Tuchel has in his locker anyway. He, at best of times, there's a lot of players who criticized him on his mannerism in terms of managing.
He's not easy. Dortmund and PSG. He is a guy who finds problem in a room on his own. He would find an argument.
And I don't know if the short nature of his contract, because 18 months is short for a Premier League manager, isn't it? I don't know if the short nature of his contract has made him a little bit of a desperado. I've listened to some of the things that he said in his press conferences. It's like he doesn't care. He knows it might be 18 months or nothing. So maybe that decision with terms of Hudson-Odoi, and I don't have a problem with the decision last week, but I do have a problem with what he said immediately in the heat of battle still there. Because I don't know, I think managers have to be careful when they're doing that to players publicly, right? Because those are the same players you need 3 days later, a week later, etc., etc. And as I said, that changing room can be toxic. I think we've all seen and heard it in the past.
But Rodders, is that not what we see with Guardiola and Klopp? I mean, it doesn't. What's happening with Liverpool does not make Klopp a bad manager. And what somebody like Mourinho hasn't learned, that actually it is about person management. It is about, you might say to Robbo, you need to lose some weight, you fat git, but you might have to say to Ernie, look, Ernie, I know you can do it, Ernie. I believe in you. It's different ways to manage different people. No,
do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I think as well. Do you remember when Mourinho was at United and he was complaining? He was taking people like Luke Shaw to task. He was really honest in terms of the players, right? I think the only difference between Mourinho and Guardiola at that time is that Guardiola made all his decisions. I think he dropped people like Kyle Walker. I think he even dropped Aguero, if you remember, for a little spell.
Yes, I do remember.
The only difference between those two managers at the time, when they were both in Manchester, is that Guardiola could make those decisions and the people upstairs would always back him. Always back him. I don't think at the time Mourinho got the same backing upstairs. Do you know what I mean?
Well, hold on a minute. If you're winning, you can do what you want. Lennon was winning at Celtic. He was still the monster that he is. Once they start going 12 points behind Rangers and whatever, he's got to go. It's always been that fickle.
Is it 12 or is it 18? Is it 18 points?
They left him. But on that Hudson-Odoi, I mean, there was a response from Chelsea. Lewis just flagged it up. There was a response from Chelsea against Atletico.
That might have been Chelsea, but that's not Hudson-Odoi.
No, but what you're saying, if Hudson-Odoi plays against Manchester United, we're going to be looking to see how he responded to being taken off last week?
What I'm saying is that clearly in the Cups, in the Champions League, in the Premiership, different systems are played. You're playing Suarez and a guy who's the best manager in the world, technically, Atletico, and clearly they got a good result. I can't take that away. That it would be a completely different game against Manchester United.
Okay. Well, you know what it's going to come to. You know what's going to come to in Manchester United. I mean, we've got to crack on a bit. We've got Otis waiting in there, and Monet will be here soon as well. it hinges on if the Titanic has one of them games that he's been having over the last couple of weeks. Because if the Titanic has anything like he's been playing, we're going to get battered. Because I think that the new their centre forward, I think he's finding his shooting boots since Tuchel's
Werner.
There was
Werner.
Werner. Yeah, he looks a little bit of a different player since Tuchel's come there. And he'll zip around the Titanic before he blink.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he looks a bit
the same. A little bit. I think he looks not much.
Yeah.
Still doesn't look like he still don't look like a £50 million striker.
I think you'll find it's the defense
a little bit
fixed up since he's come.
Enough. Huh?
If you look at how many goals they've conceded, right? If you see how few goals they've conceded, I think you'll find he started at the back. Their defense has really tightened up at Chelsea.
Is the Brazilian playing in the back for them? I'm sure he's out, right?
Well, I know they've dropped Kante. Kante seems like a spare part player now.
Right.
I mean, listen, Chelsea for me have suffered quite understandably from new manager bounce. I think the games that they've won, even in a topsy-turvy season,
Frank would have won too.
Expect them to win. However, I think the bigger tests are to come. I think well done to them for the midweek. But that said, even Atletico aren't the Atletico of a season or so ago. But all you can do all you can do as a cup competition is go ahead or get through to the next round. I think Chelsea. I think this game is absolutely pivotal to top four ambitions for both clubs. I think if Chelsea win it, I think the confidence continues to go through the roof. If Man United win it, it almost cements for me a top four position.
Guys, what do you think would be the what would it do for both teams if it was a draw?
Nothing.
Not a lot, simply because I think then the chasing pack like Everton and Villa, who have got games in hand, that just gives them a little bit of daylight.
And Leicester look like they're going to be in the top four now. And Leicester look to me like they're going to be in there.
Mm.
Well,
so I think
I'm going 2-2. I'm going 2-2. I'm going 2-2.
Could be goals in it. Could be goals in it.
Yeah. I think 2-2.
Interesting game. Was it 4:30 on Sunday, right?
Yeah, Super Sunday.
Yeah. I'm going 2-2.
Okay, let me quickly scramble over to Super Duper Sunday because I believe it is it 7:00? Liverpool versus Sheffield, Bramall Lane. Tough
there's
place.
No point mentioning them.
Pardon?
There's no point mentioning. There's no point mentioning Liverpool. Just say Liverpool.
I don't mind. I don't mind you skipping over. I don't mind you skipping over
I think it's important, it might be a game to give Liverpool confidence. I think that, they were having a bad day. They beat Man United. They beat Man United. So, it's not to say that it's impossible. But I think, you guys are a good team. And I think it will be, what did we call it? Rudders, we used to say flat pitch bully. So this will be, they got a chance to run and get 3 or 4 goals here.
Nah, Liverpool are not being a flat track bully.
So what are you saying,
really?
What are you saying?
Up Everton.
All right. So what are you saying, then, Robo?
I just think that when it's mattered, Rodney might agree with me. I think when it's mattered, Liverpool have come out a better team away from home. I know we've been saying over the last few weeks that home and away means nothing, but I just think that Liverpool's setup away from home probably it's not so much about really going out and attacking the opposition. It's seeing what the opposition's got, knowing that they've got time and applying themselves. And once Liverpool apply themselves with the right players on the pitch, I think we come out winning. If you look at Salah's goal record, as bad as Liverpool's been, all those away games, that's where he's thumped up teams. He's gone in and he's won games for Liverpool. And my prediction anyway for the game will be 2-1 to Liverpool. I reckon we will concede. They've got a lot of bullies up front, Sheffield United. But I think Liverpool wins 2-1, and I think the game is going to be. I think Salah takes that game and puts it away. I think that game's set up for Salah. I don't think he feels, and most of the team, the full Liverpool squad looks like the pressure's on them. But if you watch Salah, it looks like he's the least pressured player, and I think away from home he'll enjoy it. He'll enjoy playing against a back line that sometimes play 5 at the back. I think 2-1.
You're funny guy.
No, I'm reading some of the comments at the bottom. They're
No,
great.
can I just say, I've got a lot to say, but I've got to go soon, Ernie, and I can see too much comments. Can we go through some of the comments, please? Because I want to know
let's skip the
who are
comments.
people cussing up.
Listen,
I think it's Robbo.
I want to bring in Jason Roberts before you go, Eddie, because as you know, not Jason, Otis Roberts. I want to bring in Otis Roberts from the Jason Roberts Foundation, who's doing some stellar work in the community over North Wheezy. So I want to bring him in. He's a Fulham supporter for his troubles. He supports Fulham.
Strange.
Everyone's quiet.
Okay.
You notice how quiet it got in here? Really quiet.
That just needed to register. Eddie's dumbfounded.
I went to watch a couple of games. It's a nice ground, and they'll be back in lower proceedings next year, so they won't have the pressure of the Premier League to worry about next year. They
won't have the pressure of the Thames because that stadium's going up. So the little breeze, you know, that little cool breeze that used to pass through the ground. You used to go to Fulham's ground and you feel, what that? And you look and you see the Thames, you see some old muddy boots going past. So you're going up in life.
I actually think that they're going to get out of it. I think Fulham's they stand a chance of getting out of it because they're playing decent right now.
Hey, so Otis, you're our super fan. Ernie's obviously, I know you for a long time. I remember trying to chase Otis around a football pitch and it didn't work. This guy was quick. Stonebridge playing on them, nah, he was quick. So
hold on. The fact that he got away from you, with all due respect to you, Robert, does not make him quick.
Difficult.
No.
That's how really slow you were. Maybe he's right.
No, Otis was a baller. So there's ballers and he was a baller. So Otis, I know Ernie, you're our super fan. We're not going to talk much about Fulham, but your work you're doing in the community is important. How's that going?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on tonight. I really appreciate that. Good to see familiar faces on here. So, the community work is going well. Obviously, it's a difficult time at the moment with the pandemic and that, but we've been able to still deliver some work to families that we're able to deliver to, some families with disabilities that need to still carry on doing some sport, and getting outside and doing some work. So we've been able to kind of, within the guidelines, been able to do some work. So it's been good that we've been able to keep going. Difficult. But we're looking forward to these tiers coming out of these tiers into the next.
So what are some of the things that you do down there, Jason? Coaching football. Why do I keep on calling him Jason? Otis. Coaching from grassroots coming right up.
Yeah, football is the main thing that we do, and family. So it's what we've been doing for a long time. But what we're able to do now is we do tennis, we do golf, we do boxing, basketball, and we also have a big special needs program in the UK.
We've got a bit of problem with your sound there, Otis, from what I'm seeing.
Oh, it's refresh your audio if you can. Refresh your audio. Okay.
Just take a quick spin down the wing and come back. Ed, last week, I noticed Eddie's mic's working all right this week, boy. He's got.
I'm doing it. Look, I'm trying to do it on the phone. Look, I'm having to hold the light because he looked like he's got us like he's the saint there with the light right above his head. So I'm holding the light there because I want people to see me. How's that? Is that right? Look.
Damn, son, you shining. You shining.
What was it, Nivea, you used this week?
Listen, Ernie, don't join him, bruv. You can be better than Robbo.
All right.
Hey, listen, Otis is here, and we also have another super fan. She's gonna come up in a minute. I must say, she's a bit like Otis. She's done her sterling work in the community. But Otis, you were saying, son?
Yeah, I was talking about the different sports that we do. Boxing. We do tennis. Golf is a big one for us that we've started in the last couple of years. So it's more than football. We also look at employment opportunities for young people. We do some intergenerational stuff, and we just opened a small little TV channel and radio for for giving young people an opportunity to learn about broadcasting, presenting, and stuff like that. So that was just kind of born out of lockdown, where we weren't delivering any face-to-face stuff. So we managed to get some funding to get a studio down here to deliver some online services. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. But we're still doing the stuff.
How much is Jason Roberts involved in? Because Jason he speaks really well, and whenever I've seen Jason analyzing football, I think, wow, you should want to see more on the box. But what is he doing otherwise to help the
Foundation
itself?
Yeah, Jason's very heavily involved. I think when we started the foundation in 2007, we just had a passion for trying to help people in this area of West London if we could, and also where we both played for the national team. So I mean, Jason's very heavily involved. He can't get here as much as he would like because he's now based in Miami. So Jason, when he finished playing football, he went straight to live in Grenada as soon as he retired, and then kind of made a life over there. So he comes back when he can, but he's very heavily involved in the type of things that we get involved in. So, albeit in a founder capacity, but he's still very much involved in helping the foundation in its endeavors.
So Otis, we'd like to ask. We're trying to bring together a lot more voices, and obviously people listening to the show and watching the show may want to possibly get in touch with you so we can build these voices. So the next time you come on, at least you can say, "Well, boy, thanks guys, this helped." How do people get involved, and what kind of involvement are you looking for the foundation? What would be a great benefit to you guys in the foundation?
Yeah, I mean, contact us. We're here in Stonebridge at the pavilion. It's the old pavilion, but we've changed the name. We've recently taken a lease on this venue here for 15 years. So we're going to be here. We're not going anywhere. Come down and see us. JaysonRobertsFoundation.com is the website. Just contact us, and if you've got something that you want to do in the community, we run a lot over 50 tournaments and over 35 tournaments, football and also. So we're open for people to get involved. One of the projects that we're working on currently is a heritage project where we're going to be celebrating at least 20 footballers that come from Brent. So that's something to look out for. But more than welcome for people to come down there. We also recognise that it's not just young people. We don't just have this centre here for young people. People my age, 35, 50, wherever, and we can put stuff there. We've got a little bit of
So could Eddie come down then?
Yeah, because Eddie can help with painting up the pavilion. Also, Stonebridge Pavilion, Eddie? Get down there with your face.
Why don't you lot get a team together and come and play down there?
Can you imagine all of us in a team?
It's me looking to skin man like back in the days. Otis, quick prediction before you go. Chelsea, Fulham versus Crystal Palace is Sunday. It's 12 o'clock kickoff. It's away from home. Not that it matters, but it's down South London. What do you reckon? How's your team doing, and and give us a prediction?
Draw. I think that game will be a draw.
Draw. 0-0.
A no score draw or a score draw?
I think there'll be goals in there, but I think it'll be a draw.
Hey, how's your boy Lookman? Lookman, the bad man.
Yeah, I mean, missed that.
I like him.
Missed that penalty, a few months ago. But he's a good player. He's a good signing. And Fulham, they're not nothing to write home about. It's just a nice club by the river. But
we'll be down by the river, watching Fulham going down. Hey, listen, Otis, it's been a pleasure. Please come back on the show and tell us a little bit more. It's our hometown, our own area, and I know you've been at this football thing. Keep it up, brother.
And for anybody listening, you can go down to the Stonebridge Pavilion. There's no problem down there at all, all right? Because people might get frightened. There's nothing to be frightened about. Otis is the man down there, and everything is Don Cook and Corey, as we say.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Otis.
Thank you. Doing a great job, guys. Thanks.
Nice one, Otis. Respect for your time. Otis reckons it's a score draw. All right, Otis is a score draw. Okay. So,
what's the
all right.
contact Anthony for Otis? Email getting in contact with Otis at the JasonRobertsFoundation.com. Please go and check him out. If you've got any ideas you'd like to bring to it, he's a really, really good guy. And his football through and through.
Why's the volume gone down? Where's the volume gone?
My volume.
Yeah.
Huh?
Change the battery. Change the battery.
It's some Duracell business.
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
No, not really.
All right, piss off then.
Your language is obscene, Robbo. What's the matter with him? I like him. When
You know that.
Discombobulated like this.
You know what I mean? Completely.
Palace Fulham could be a lot of goals, you know. Palace are in an awful place right now, you know. And Fulham are not really a Premiership club. I don't see how they survive. So, and if Palace don't look sharp, they'll be down there with them.
Is Zaha playing though? Because if Zaha plays, Palace wins.
Not sure. I think he's got a little bit of an injury. But maybe the most interesting thing is if Zaha plays on Sunday, is whether he takes the knee or not, which he said he isn't going to do.
Okay.
And then what happens with everybody else?
Yeah, you know, will Crystal Palace as a team take the knee, or will you say one player standing up and everybody's on their knees? That'll probably be the most fascinating thing. I actually expect Palace to win that game.
Right.
Palace are really, really, really inconsistent. They went to Brighton the other day and won lastminute.com.
Yeah.
But that's like a derby, isn't it?
Yeah, the M23 derby.
Isn't it? Benteke scored like in the last minute.
Yeah.
Now Zaha's out and he ain't taking the lead.
What a great goal. That Benteke goal.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
What happened to that brother there, Rodders? Because he was scoring goals. A big Belgium, isn't it?
In the Belgium team.
Then all of a sudden he went to Palace. Yeah, was a Liverpool player, and then all of a sudden something went wrong. But he must be up for a contract because he's started to score goals again.
He keeps getting his contract renewed, isn't it? Benteke. Like Hodgson is like
but they know him. They've worked him out. They only give him short ones. So they're fixing him up.
Incredible. But that was a blinding goal, man. Great winner the other night there. I'm happy for him. Very happy for him. Is Lady Monet in the house?
Hello, Lady Monet.
Another super fan.
She's just vanished.
She's just vanished.
Oh.
Where are all those comments, Ernie? I need to hear them cussing Robert.
Anthony, can you flash up some comments while we're waiting from Lady Monet? Go on, Robbo. You can do it. Wicked. What's that? Of course
we can. Of course we can. You see, you're looking for these comments to cuss me. See my herd, my community. They're here with me. Hey, that's the difference.
Is guess who?
Well, you see that, Eddie? I took mines with me. I left the beeves and I took them with me. They're with me. My herd is with me. They're with me.
Monet's back.
Money's back.
Club. Great individuals, but never a team. Like the Jamaican bobsleigh team.
Tricky Nicky deep.
Cool run-ins.
So, I think if she's back, I'll introduce Monet. I'll call her Lady Monet, but it really name's Mons, right?
Who's Monet? It's money.
Well, I'm trying to make you sound sophisticated.
I realized that earlier. It doesn't really work though, because
Lady Monet. I'm with Eddie Nestor. Lady Monet.
And that's
Is Monet short for Monica?
Yeah, Money.
Right.
Monique.
Yeah, money. Yeah.
Money.
I thought it sounded cool, but you lot are making it sound real whack.
It's Lady Monet.
Where's your birth certificate? I'm sure you got Monica on that birth certificate.
I have, but I don't want everyone knowing my name like that. I've got a reputation out here, geezer.
I've just slaughtered it. I just smashed it up. So tell us about Monet, Robbo.
So Monet,
We go with Monet.
that money was imagine this. She was scouted by Chelsea Women's, and she'll tell you why she didn't take it up. I just thought, I was like, that's crazy. And also she went on, when I met Monet she was coaching Chiswick boys, right? And
yeah,
she used to rattle me all the time, like, well, Chelsea this, I'm Chelsea that, and I'm like, so I know she's been a huge football supporter for quite some time, and she knows a lot about the game and her family. We mentioned the great Ricky Hill. This is the niece of.
Oh right, okay.
Oh, okay.
Ricky.
Actually, I grew up with
Chelsea through and through.
I taught him football. Actually, you asked him.
you taught Uncle Vicky football.
Yeah, you asked him. Him and his brother Ian. We used to play up when they were Cricklewood, and I taught him how to play football.
Have you?
Don't listen to him.
Here's a little plug. Have you bought his book then? Yeah.
Ian ain't told me that he's got. Ricky ain't told me that he's got no book.
Yeah, he's got a book out. He bought a book out about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
About the love of the game and stuff. The hardships he came across during his times in his playing football.
And still now.
And still now, because he spoke out.
In terms of coaching, yeah.
Money, you got also. I mean, we spoke last year. We were supposed to do something, but you've got an amazing sports kind of bar and now restaurant. You're doing food.
Yeah, we had to adjust.
So
COVID.
You've kept football all the way through, really, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got a football pub where we sponsor 4 teams here. We do a lot of other community stuff, but football's always been the heart of the community as far as I'm concerned. So it's an easy way to reach out to the youth without trying to come off as you're better than them or lecturing them about anything. It's a common ground, is what we call it.
What age did you used to coach the boys? What age?
My beautiful 9-year-old boys, they weren't no big boys. I wasn't ready for that attitude. Yeah, they were only 9. They were 9 to 11. Just before they were going into senior school. It was fun. I enjoyed coaching. But my job kind of didn't allow me to continue because the hours were contradictory. So. Yeah.
Okay.
And what's with this Chelsea thing?
Sorry?
What's with this Chelsea? What happened with Chelsea? You were scouted to.
Well, I got scouted for Chelsea. Nah, what it was, I got scouted for Chelsea, but my parents are Seventh-day Adventists. Well, were Seventh-day Adventists at the time. So we had to do a lot of our training. Training was during the week, but a lot of the games would play on Saturday or Sunday. And my mum just said no. She said that she was stopped from doing what she wanted to do, and I'm not doing it. She told me basically I'm not allowed. So that's why I've allowed my son to do what he wants to do. And he's a professional rugby player.
Rugby?
Yeah, he's a rugby player. I tried with the football. I still don't understand the rugby game, but yeah, I tried with it.
So Money, when you were trying to get into the game, obviously women's football a little while ago wasn't so developed. You must be kicking yourself thinking, look at all that stuff in the game now.
Yeah, I do. I really would love to play with like Rachel, like Yankee and all of them kind of. I really do look at women's football now and admire how far women's football's come. Because to be fair, this might be controversial, but I think women play a better game than the men at the moment.
Probably play better than Liverpool.
If you look at like World Cup games and their passing skills, men can make it look scrappy. Women have a point to prove. Just like how black people used to have a point to prove, I feel like women have a point to prove, and their game is amazing. To me, it's easier to sit down and watch a women's game at the moment than it is to watch a man's game.
How do you work that one out? Why did you say that?
It's interesting. The women's passes are on point. Love the game.
See, the others are not going to say anything. They're going to let that silence live. Might I suggest that it's more enjoyable because the goalkeepers aren't quite as good?
No, I disagree on that one. I disagree. The scores aren't that high.
Maybe if they had smaller goals, it would be better.
Aaron says mute her mic. Aaron, stop it.
She is a Chelsea fan. So money. You're round about Stamford. You was round about the Stamford Bridge. Did you used to go and see the games? You used to watch games?
I couldn't afford it. I used to watch on TV like everyone else. My first game, I watched my first game when I was about 23.
Wow.
I went to the stadium, but I didn't go to. I went to the stadium previously, but I hadn't gone to any games previously. One, because I was always in church. I had to be in church, so.
Wow. Yeah. So the coaching, the coaching, was that easy to get into as a young woman coaching boys?
Well, because I was trying to push my son through it, and then obviously they saw me being really passionate from the sideline, and they were like, "Why don't you come and join us? Why don't you come and coach the boys? Get a team of your own?" Because they had like a coach that had left, and I was like, "Yeah, I can do this," and I did, and I enjoyed it till like February when the weather turned, and it was freezing cold, and I couldn't feel my feet, I couldn't feel my hands. And it's one thing when you're playing, you can get over that, like you warm up quickly. But when you're coaching, there's no warming up for you unless you're standing there bouncing like a crazy woman.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the only thing I didn't enjoy. But yeah, I loved it. I love it. I love it.
So
you moved in.
What do you think of the current Chelsea coach?
Do we have one? Like I said to Robert, since Chelsea, I've been so disappointed. Right, this year with Chelsea, I stopped watching them about 2 months ago. Like we were doing foolishness. I haven't turned on football.
Lampard. That means you're a Lampard in. That means you're
Lampard. When Lampard went out, I turned off my TV. Because as far as I'm concerned, I feel like Chelsea, we go through managers too quick, and I don't think we ever give anyone a fair chance. And I just don't understand. I don't understand management's point of view. I feel we're never going to build nothing. We're always going to be taken for a joke because they know as soon as we get on a losing streak, we've got nothing. Like it's a frustrating subject for a long day at work, but yeah,
it is interesting that you see it like that because I think there are very few teams in the Premier League that have won more than Chelsea, and it's clearly a model that it's an expensive model because. Mr. Abramovich has to pay people, but I don't know. Rudders can tell us, but maybe only Man United. I don't know that anybody's won more than them since he's been the owner. So clearly, it's a model. Or you can keep your manager like Arsenal and not win anything.
I think it's an ignorance. I don't know. It's disappointing because it's coming. The thing with Chelsea is so predictable. You just know it's coming. Like, okay, we lose 3 games in a row. We're going to lose our manager. It's not like, lads, next week, do better. Like, they've got no one to be consistently on them. Like, they know their time's up if they don't. To me, it's the players. You got to also blame the players. Like, it's not always on the coach. Like, your players get lazy, and sometimes they need motivation. But how are they going to get motivation if you don't have someone that's constantly there for them? It's like having a child with no parent.
Well, you're very passionate though. Money.
My heart's racing right now because this is a very passionate subject.
Like, I'll talk about the women's game, but I don't want to talk about Chelsea. Now she's all over Chelsea. So, Money, I know you got the venue in Luton. Just changing the subject a bit. How the hell do you manage to manage a pub with this on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off? Do you feel like giving up?
Hard. It has been hard because we've been closed for the best part of the year. But at the same time, you have to be versatile. You have to try and move with the times. So we've opened up. We used to do grand catering. So we used to do like weddings and funerals and stuff like that. We've just now done it in-house. So now we sell food from the pub. We also run a food bank for anybody that is in Luton and needs help. We run a food bank from here 2 times a week on a Tuesday and Saturday. That's run by Blessed Hands. You can contact us via Facebook for that. But yeah, you have to roll with it. I just feel like we're resilient people, you know. Like we've been through a lot more than Corona, and we've come out on the other side. So it's just another test, another thing to make us stronger. Like everyone's worried about it. I'm trying not to worry about it. My glass is always, and there's always someone in a worse situation than me. So
whereabouts are you situated in Luton?
We're in Lucy Farm, this beautiful place called Lucy Farm. Like if anybody knows it.
Everybody knows Lucy Farm.
Of course, it's beautiful up here.
Nah, Lucy Farm. Lucy Farm. If you're played in Luton, you have to play somewhere near Lucy Farm at least. And is it Marsh Farm? Marsh.
Yeah, they got the marshes. Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
But I don't live in Luton. I just had my business in Luton with my dad. My dad has the pub and we run it together. It's a family business.
Good.
Okay.
So listen, you know you're playing Man United this weekend. It's a home game. It's at Stamford Bridge. You've watched enough football, so you must. You know you hate Man United like me. What do you reckon the score is going to be? Chelsea Man United 4:30 on a Sunday.
1-0 to Man U.
Oh dear.
Oh, Monet!
I'm realistic. I ain't trying to. I'm not trying. Yeah, I'm not trying to. Yeah, Chelsea are doing rubbish right now. Yeah, so yeah, 1-0 to Man U.
Aaron says Monet.
I never thought I'd get myself saying that either.
Huh?
I think so.
What's that? Okay. What Aaron says, well said, Monet. But we can forget that ridiculous statement about men's football.
It's a preference, yeah. Beauty of the game is in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely right.
Well, listen, Monet, thank you for coming on as our first female super fan. And I know you're fiery, and a lot of women can.
Ricky Hill, by Ricky Hill, another plug.
There you go. Go buy the book.
Go buy the book.
Get Ricky on here.
I'm
trying to get him on. Yeah, I'm trying to, definitely.
Tell him that I said he must come on the show. Just tell him that.
I will.
All right.
I'll give him that tone as well. But I'll tell him it didn't come from me, so I don't get told off.
Just tell him.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right, nice one.
All right.
Best of luck. We'll come up and see you when COVID's gone.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love that.
All right. Some free food.
Right, bye.
Nice one. And Ernie, she's also a promoter, so don't let her fool you, because when she start telling us, "This me a Fiona, Robert. This is what I got, you know. It's all I got for you." You just have to work with the program. You know what I mean? So yeah, watch her.
All right. Well, we do help in the community sometime. You know what I mean? So I've got a sister-in-law up in Luton, so I can always stay up there. I ain't got to book into a hotel or anything like that. So
hey, Ernie, it's just down the road. Calm down. It's Luton. It's just up the motorway.
Yeah. But you know what they say? Anything north of Watford is far.
Ernie with hardo bread and fried chicken because he's going Luton. It's just down the road, Ernie. All right, so listen, guys, we had some of those interesting games. No, not so interesting games. We didn't. I like Rodney's when Rodney gives his prediction, even though Rodney's been kind of wrong. Rodney, couple of games that I want you to pass your eye on. They are. I know one of them is one of your favorite footballing team, Leeds United versus Aston Villa, and also the game between Leicester and Arsenal. I think they're two games away from, the Chelsea game, and could be a horrible result for Liverpool. Those two games are tasty games this weekend.
Well, I mean, first up, Aston Villa without Grealish is a different proposition altogether. I think we saw that last week, didn't we, where they got beaten. I'd expect Leeds to probably win that one against Villa, if I'm honest. Leeds have got this Brazilian, I think it is it Rafinha, who looks like
Liverpool are trying to.
He's going to go on an upward trajectory. Trust me, he's a player. So I expect Leeds to win that one. I'm not sure how long Rafinha will stay at Leeds, but he's obviously a talent. And the thing about Leeds, they don't lose any spirit in a game, whether they go 1-0 down, 2-0 down. And I just think that energy and pressing scenario might be too much for Villa, who, as I said, will be without Grealish, and I think might be in a little bit of decline. In terms of Leicester versus Arsenal, God, I'd expect that one to be probably a draw about that one. I think there's a couple of big players missing.
It's at Leicester. It's at the King Power, right?
Yeah, Leicester, if anything, are more powerful away from the King Power than the King Power. But you never know what Arsenal's going to turn up. That's the thing. You generally know what Leicester are going to produce. That said, they got knocked out of Europe the other day, which won't be great for them. I just see that one probably being a high-scoring draw, actually. Leicester.
Going back to Aston Villa, what do you think about Watkins as a striker? He's developing really nice as a number 9.
Really, really well. I watched him when he was at Brentford under Dean Smith, who's the current Villa manager. Literally, he's been up top there on his own. He doesn't suffer many injuries. He scores goals. I think he's into double figures already.
Yeah.
So he's done really well. But the man that makes Villa tick is Grealish, and he's out for a couple of weeks. So, but Villa, Watkins, they've done really, really well. Don't forget, Villa were a team that only saved themselves on the last day of the season last year, didn't they? From relegation. You know, and dare I say it, Robbo, they've come in, smashed you lot, done the double over Arsenal, given Man United, you know, good games whenever they played them. So
thank you.
They look very, very ordinary without Grealish. So I don't know. He's arguably going to be a contender for Player of the Season for me, Grealish.
Yeah, and their player Douglas Luiz is looking like a good find for Aston Villa. I mean, both teams there's something really nice about Aston Villa and Leeds. That's why I think it's going to be a ding dong.
The interesting thing about Douglas Luiz, he's actually a Man City player.
He's on loan, right?
He's on loan, and with Fernandinho, I would say almost done at Man City. You would think he's a perfect fit. But they've got the boy Rodri there, who is key to Man City, by the way. He's not spectacular, but if you check the passing stats, he keeps everything moving. But Luiz is playing really well with McGinn next to Luiz. So I just don't know what the creative spark is going to be for Villa if Grealish is not there.
Interesting game. So the Chelsea-Leicester game you mentioned, that could. What do you reckon, Eddie? I know you're not the greatest fan of Chelsea. What do you reckon in that game? It's a nice little setup, Leicester Arsenal.
Can I just say before it goes out of my head, because I'm old now, really happy about the fact that Paul Cannonville seems like he's recovering. For any old-time Chelsea fans listening, first black player, boy from our side of town, Rudders. And, you know, he was in a bad way for a minute there. And apparently, you know, people have had conversations with him. So let me just register that because that's important too. Vardy was on his way to Arsenal for a minute, and that was going to be a step up. And, you know, there's nobody who really now is surprised that Leicester will finish above Arsenal this season. I know Arsenal fans are going to get vexed, but there's been something missing. It hasn't been addressed by the manager. It's a spine. It's a toughness. It's a resilience. They play pretty football, and if they're doing well, they do really well. You think that once the team gets up and at them, it doesn't work out like that. And I think I'd be surprised if Leicester don't win.
They had a good game against Man City, though, Arsenal. They looked...
to concede a goal that early and to keep it at 1-0, I think you can, as a manager, I'd be trying to build on that. I'd be saying, look what they do to other teams, and we managed to hold them like that. But what happens is, say again.
I think they escaped against Arsenal. Escaped against Man City.
Well, you don't escape, do you? Really? If a team scores in 3 or 4 minutes and then it's 1-0. You, as a manager, you have to try and pick the positives from that, Ernie. So you're going to say, look what we did. How can we do? We just conceded against them. But the accusation that's come to me again and again, brothers, is that he's a conservative manager. So whereas another manager might have chased the game and lost 2-0 or 3-0, I'm not sure he did that.
I think the interesting thing with Arteta, sorry, just to build on what you said, I understand totally. I mean, I've watched the team for many, many years, but I think if you look at, say, Everton under Ancelotti, that experienced man that's been around the block, won everything there is to win, he has shown inside a season and a half what experience and management can do. Arsenal arguably have the youngest manager in the Premier League. Okay, there was an FA Cup win last year, all credit for that. But he's been in lots of situations this season that he wouldn't have been in before. It's okay being number 2 under Guardiola at a Man City team that have got the best players in the world. What he has now is a very ordinary squad, apart from maybe Saka, Aubameyang, etc., etc. So I think Arsenal's a project. He's cleared out a lot of players. Would
you give him £200 million to buy players?
Arsenal won't give anybody £200 million. That's the problem.
Okay.
So whether it be Arteta, Ancelotti, they're not going to get 200 million if you turn up at Arsenal.
Is the squad still the same, brothers? I remember one time looking at a squad number of number 65 or something.
Who knows right now? I just think that right now Arsenal's a project. I don't think Arteta will get the sack. And of course, he was one game maybe from getting the sack when Arsenal beat Chelsea, if you remember, on Boxing Day. Now that, and ironically, then Lampard loses his job. It's just madness, really. Arsenal now are not in the higher echelons of the Premier League quite clearly, and it may take them some time to do that.
What happened to the party animal? Party animal. What happened to him? Where's he gone? The big party.
Really good player, but he suffered lots of injuries, so there's no consistency there right now.
He wasn't injury prone when he was at Atletico. He played majority of the games at Atletico Madrid.
He was. But listen,
so okay, it's slow in your opinion, and it's not over here, man. Country before you even get the ball.
They're done as a top 4 club, Arsenal.
They're what?
They've been out the Champions League for 4 seasons now, and you can see Leicester consistently there or thereabouts. You can see Everton as well under Ancelotti. Certainly the Liverpools, the Man Cities, the Man United. So it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a real struggle.
My thing with Arsenal, I've never been quite clear on who is your first 11. I watch them and I'm thinking, who actually is their first 11? I don't think he's even sure of his first 11.
So that's why you get the inconsistency of results. Doesn't make sense. Whereby you could generally name Manchester City's starting 11. Yeah. So that's why it's always going to be consistent. And yet I say that.
Curtis, he ain't got no chill. Sorry, go on. Sorry, what are you saying, Rodney?
No, I'm saying the inability to name that starting 11 is why you get the results that you're getting right now.
I couldn't name their starting 11. I really couldn't. I've tried to, and I'm like, it's not that I don't know the players, but I just don't know who he picks. The defense is always chopping and changing. The midfield seems to chop and change. And then is Aubameyang playing down the middle? Is he playing out on the left? Is Saka gonna play? Is the new kid gonna play?
What's the other one? Beginning with L.
Smith Rose.
Lacazette.
Lacazette. Is he Dominic Kennedy?
No, I don't think so. They got a boy there that they paid a lot of money for. That if they could get him off, he could do all right, couldn't he, brothers?
Who's that?
Who's the black boy they paid a whole bunch of money for? Was going to pick up rocks, the striker or the winger? Sorry,
Pepe the chicken. Pepe chicken.
Oh, Pepe.
Yeah.
No, he's not embraced the Premier League.
Pepe Piri.
He's not embraced.
The problem for me with Arsenal is all the players are the same, so it don't matter who you pick because they're a similar type of player. So
what is it with Pepe though? What is it? Would you reckon with Pepe? Because there's footballing ability there. You can clearly see this guy's got crazy ability. But
when you come to the Premier League, especially the Premier League, it's not always about ability, is it? You've got to get your mindset right. You've got to be able to deal with the physicality that's clearly going to come your way. The ability, you know, if you look at the great Man United teams, you look at the great City team of today, right? you can have all the skill in the world. Thanks for that. You can have all the skill in the world, right?
But been a great side.
You've got to earn the right to play.
And
Sorry,
somebody said,
the comments are fantastic.
don't forget Cedric.
Yeah, yo, Cedric, hey, Rodney, Cedric, turn up. He never told me Cedric was a footballer.
Yeah, man.
I thought it was the guy that worked in the dry cleaners. Please, guy, Cedric, turn up. Hey, I must say, he's an awful player. I think he's awful. I've seen him a few times. He's awful. He was better at painting and decorating, Cedric.
The brother with the hair is getting a tough time as well. That they stole from Chelsea, the one that they stole
David
from
Luiz.
the one that they stole from Chelsea.
Oh, the other one.
Chelsea stole him from Tottenham, and then now Arsenal have stolen him, but he's a pensioner. William.
Yum.
That's a proper. That's like a parking ticket. You know when you waste some money and that's a waste of money.
Hey, but if William got it together, William, Saka, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, that is a force.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It's got to come.
It's a good five-a-side team.
No, that's an attacking lineup. That's an effective attacking lineup. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Those players there, been on paper, man.
Maybe we can ask Crucial Robbie could tell us what's going on there.
I don't know. I'm just saying Tottenham and Arsenal are not top 4 sides anymore.
You don't think Tottenham is well?
What are Tottenham? Take your money on who's going to be the Chelsea manager or the Tottenham manager? Which one of them is going to last the longest? And that will answer your question, Robert.
All right. Well, what about a situation that they swapped coach? Jose Mourinho, Arsenal, and Arteta at Tottenham. Wouldn't that work?
No.
William got his instructions from Frank before he left. Spursy.
No, that won't work.
You're just making Rudders. You listen to Rubber just make stuff up that doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it's cool. Listen, it's Arsenal's turn to get a battering. Robbo's got his own challenges right now.
Yeah, I imagine for you to turn up under the pressure you are under, having taken the hallucinogenic that you're clearly taken. I salute you, Robert.
Hey, listen, I've learned over the past few years, Arsenal fans are game. They make a TV channel. I heard that. So that's why I'm calling them in. All right, so I don't know where we're gonna go next week. This week has kind of been a bit of a free hit. We're gonna supercharge next week because we definitely...
Can I make a request, please? 2 things,
yes, please.
right? Just for me, because I've got it on the phone today. I need to hear which one of the 2 of you read the best. Read out the comments, man. Why can't we argue about the comments? You not got people sending in good cussing, and we're not even... We're laughing at it like it's private.
All right. Well, maybe next week we just take a comment show then.
Yeah, I'm up for that because I know Robbo ain't gonna be there next week.
Yo, listen. Well, all right, okay. Let's go with the comments. I know there's only one request: just ban Ronnie. Then I'm good. And we go straight comments next week.
Guess who's got to get banned as well?
Pardon?
Guess who? Your mate. Guess who's got to get banned as well? Who is he?
No, he's okay. He's not that bad. But listen, you can read the comments back when you watch back the show. It's on YouTube. Thanks for all the people that's been sharing the show on YouTube and Facebook. It's been great. Thank you. You can read back the comments. We will take more comments next week. And
sorry, I'm just asking you to do. And big up to Tiger. We'll wish him the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. 20 minutes of comments.
Eddie, did you hear? Did you hear Ernie's comments about Alison Becker?
No.
Watch back.
No.
As they say, watch back the tape. He ain't got no film. He ain't got no film.
No, you can't go there, man. With Alison Becker, man.
I was about to say I want to disassociate myself from Ernie, but such I've known him for so many years.
I'm glad I come on after, because when the BBC watch it, I don't want nothing to do with that.
It was worse than Moyes' daughter.
Oh,
It was deep. It was deep. It was deep. Ernie's got no chill.
But yeah, so what about you? What about you, Robert? And what's her name? Like your missus.
Hey, hold on. Tipper Irie. Arteta out. He's done out here.
Arteta out. And Tipper Irie's an Arsenal fan.
Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry.
I think we should do Tipper next week.
No, don't bring him on there. Don't. He's worse than you. He ain't got no behavior. Tipper, come on here.
Tipper Irie, I tap on the mic. That is Irie. No, we have Tipper on. I think Tipper, you're invited.
God bless you. Respect to Tipper.
But before I go, what's her name still looking for you now, Robbo?
Sorry?
The girl is still look for you.
Which girl?
Dwight York's baby mother.
Oh, jeez.
Listen, people.
Love you. Bye. Bye. I'll be back here. Bye.
Catch you back next week. It's been a fixture list, people. We out. Peace.
I'm trying to press a button.
See you later.